There is a hidden architecture to the world we experience, a structure mostly unseen that holds up the surface of our lives. We see the results, the joy, the sorrow, the chance encounters, the stubborn obstacles, but we rarely see what generates them. We live our lives among the branches, focused on the fruits, while the true source of it all remains buried, out of sight, deep beneath the soil. This is the dynamic of cause and effect, not merely a sequence of events, but a fundamental relationship between two distinct realms. The world of effect is the one we know. It is tangible, visible, the realm of outcomes and manifestations. It is the world we bump into, the one we try to fix, to change, to control. But behind it, supporting it, feeding it, is the world of cause. This is the hidden dimension, the inner workshop of reality. It is the realm of roots, of spiritual forces, of intention. And it is here, in this unseen soil, that the seeds of everything are sown. Think of a great and ancient tree. Above the ground, it is a spectacle of life. Branches reach for the sky, leaves rustle in the wind, fruit hangs heavy and ripe. This is the world of effect. It is what we can touch and taste. It is our daily reality. But below the surface, hidden in the dark, silent earth, lies the root system, vast, intricate, and unseen. It is the anchor. It is the source of nourishment. The health of the branches, the sweetness of the fruit, all of it is entirely dependent on the health of these hidden roots. You cannot simply paint the leaves a brighter green and expect the tree to thrive. You cannot glue on new fruit and call it a harvest. Any change you make to the branches, without addressing the roots, is temporary, superficial, an illusion. This is the first and most important lesson. The effect is merely a reflection of the cause. To change what is seen, you must first change what is unseen. Across spiritual traditions, we find a powerful symbol, the cosmic tree, and in some of the most profound teachings, this tree is depicted as upside. Its roots are in the heavens, in the realm of pure spirit and cause, and its branches grow downward, manifesting as our material world. The world of effect. This inversion is a correction to our perception. We are born into the branches, and we assume that this is where the action is. We believe the world of things and events is the primary reality, but the cosmic tree tells us the opposite. The true origin is above. The root is the source. The branch is the raw material, waiting to be shaped by the force flowing from the root. A wise teacher once said that every branch, every leaf, receives the soul of a righteous person, and thus it sprouts and stands. This is not just a beautiful idea. It is a map of reality. It means you and I are not merely passive observers on the branches. We are connected to the root. Our inner life, our soul, our intention is part of the causal structure itself. So, if the cause is hidden, how do we work with it? How do we, living here in the world of branches, tend to the roots? The first, and perhaps most accessible tool, is one we use every day, often without a second thought. Language. Words are far more than just sounds or symbols for communication. They are vessels. They carry the substance of our inner world or thoughts, our emotions, and, most importantly, our intentions. Language is a bridge. It is a conduit that connects the landscape of our mind with the higher causal realms. Think of your mind as a garden. Most of the time, it is sown with seeds. We did not consciously choose seeds of worry, of past hurts, of limiting beliefs. These seeds germinate in the fertile soil of our consciousness, and they grow into the reality we experience. We find ourselves with a harvest of anxiety, of conflict, of stagnation, and we wonder why, but we have a choice. We can become the gardeners of our own minds. We can consciously select the seeds we plant, and we do this with language. An empowering word, repeated with feeling and intention, is not a mere affirmation. It is a spiritual seed. When you plant the seed of peace in the soil of a troubled mind, you are not just covering up the noise, you are introducing a new causal force. You are programming the inner realm. This seed, nurtured by your attention, will eventually germinate. It will push aside the weeds of fear. It will grow into a resilient plant of inner calm. And this inner calm will, in due time, extend its influence. It will seep from your individual consciousness into the collective. It will begin to shape the branches of your external reality. Words spoken with true conviction are like a beacon. They transmit a signal into the hidden architecture of the world. They resonate with the spiritual forces that govern our reality, influencing them, aligning them with your stated intention. This is why a kind word can heal, and a cruel word can wound so deeply. They are not just sounds, they are causal events. Beyond the power of language, there is another path to influencing the root, the acquisition of spiritual knowledge. This is not about collecting facts or memorizing doctrines. It is about unveiling, There is a concept of a complete state, a wholeness, that resides within the collective soul. It is a state of perfect peace, unity, and compassion. But for most of us, this state is obscured. It is veiled by the ego, by our limited, self-centered perspectives. We see the world through a filter of I, me, and mine, and this filter distorts everything. The journey of engaging with spiritual knowledge is the process of carefully, patiently, removing these veils. With every insight that resonates, with every teaching that rings true, a little more of the obscuring dust is wiped away. We are not adding something from the outside. We are remembering, we are reconnecting with our true, complete essence. And this has the most practical implications imaginable. As your inner state begins to align with this state of inner completeness, a ripple effect occurs. You are changing the causal root. You are harmonizing your own being with the deepest spiritual forces, and the external reality, the world of effect, has no choice but to shift in response. It must mirror the new state of the cause. Your inner transformation becomes the catalyst for an external metamorphosis. This is the most profound form of change. It is not forced. It is not a struggle against the branches. It is a natural unfolding, like a flower opening to the sun. As you evolve, you contribute to the evolution of the collective consciousness. You are actively co-creating a reality that reflects more unity, more compassion, more harmony. We must pause and consider the pitfalls, the distractions that keep us trapped in the world of effect, forever trying to fix the reflections in the mirror. So often, when we desire change, we focus all our energy on the external outcomes. We want a different job, a different relationship, a different society. And so, we try to manipulate the branches. We protest, we argue, we accumulate possessions. We sometimes even resort to violence, believing that force can sculpt a better world. And sometimes these actions can bring about an immediate, visible shift. A law is changed, a leader is replaced, a desired object is acquired. But if the underlying cause, the collective mindset, the spiritual root remains unpurified, the change is an illusion. The same patterns will re-emerge in a new form. The anger used to overthrow a tyrant becomes the anger that sustains a new oppression. The greed that drove you to acquire one thing simply transfers its desire to the next. These efforts, however noble in intention, often failed because they mistake the symptom for the source. They try to rearrange the fruits without tending to the roots. The pivotal distinction lies here. The mind is the epicenter of reality formation. True, lasting transformation is not an external campaign. It is an internal recalibration. The work is to shift our thought patterns, to purify our intentions. The focus must turn inward, from the manifested problem to the inner landscape that is birthing it. Only when we address the root causes of our own thinking can we pave the way for a change that endures. This is not a call to passivity. It is a call for a more profound, more strategic form of action. It is the understanding that the most powerful thing you can do to change the world is to change yourself. By fostering a mindset of peace, you introduce the cause of peace into the collective field. By cultivating love, you strengthen the causal force of love. This inner work is not a retreat from the world. It is the most effective way to change it. So, we find ourselves at a threshold of understanding. We see that every occurrence, every event, both the good and the challenging, is a reflection of the collective mind. The external world is a canvas, and we, with our thoughts and intentions, are the painters. The landscape of our lives is a projection of our inner state. This can feel like a heavy responsibility, but it is also the source of our ultimate power. It means we are not victims of a random, indifferent universe. We are participants in a cosmic dance of cause and effect. To bend reality is not to break its rules, but to understand them on the deepest level. It is to recognize that the lever for change is not out there, but in here, in the quiet space of your own awareness, in the intentions you set before you speak, in the seeds you choose to plant in the garden of your mind. The transformation we seek begins not with a shout, but with a whisper, not with a force applied to the world, but with a shift in the inner realm. As we align our inner state with the higher principles of unity and compassion, we inadvertently trigger an evolution in the spiritual forces that shape our world. We step into our role as conscious co-creators. The fabric of reality is not static. It is alive, responsive, and woven from the threads of consciousness itself. Your journey inward, your quiet work of self-awareness and intentionality, is not a small thing. It is the most significant work you can do. For as you change the root, you cannot help but change the tree. And as the tree changes, so too does the world it shelters. So, The next time you find yourself focused on a problem in the outer world, pause for a moment. Look past the branching complexity of the situation. Ask yourself not what you can do to the branches, but what you can do to the root. What seed of thought, what quality of intention can you plant in the hidden soil of your own being that might, in time, grow into the change you wish to see? The answer to that question is where your true power resides.